Welcome to Spectrum Podcast.
It just doesn't sound like a real thing.
Welcome to... I'll try again.
No, it's
Hey
perfect.
guys, it's just another day around here, sunny and 70 out. No, it's actually not 70 out. It's Spectrum Pod.
Cast.
Spectrum Podcast.
Spectrum Pod.
It's because before I was like, welcome to On the Spectrum Podcast.
I think I'm just in a mood.
Now I'm just trying to be Spectrum Podcast.
That's some like Family Guy humor.
Just
where it's like... I think I'm in a mood today.
big band stuff.
I feel like I'm just... bitch mode.
It's all right. We all have those times. Damn it, that's my ending one. I don't mean to use that. I want to start over. This was terrible.
No, it's fine. Okay, so... So I was doing some
Mood.
deep... Or do you want to check in?
Yeah, let's check in.
Great.
You are itching. You're there
I'm
at the
actually
gate.
not. I was like thinking about it, like the amount of obstacles I had to get through and Alex had to get through for yesterday. He had his immigration exam.
Oh, that's why Eric and him were talking about that. Ah, cute.
They were talking about something. I mean, maybe that's what he was telling me about, but yesterday was the exam and his appointment was at 12:30 and we had plans to leave the house like 8, 9 o'clock.
That's
like,
why
no
you
later
went to
by
LA. It's all
it's all
making sense
okay.
now.
Thank you. I know.
Oh my God, I am slow this week.
It's
Let's go.
fine. I've honestly. So we wake up. It's like 8:30. I wake up. I straighten my hair. I brush my teeth. I put a little bit of makeup on, and I'm like, "Come on!" I even poop. Like I do everything I had to do.
She's a real lady.
And Alex is just like he's still just relaxed. He's like, "We'll wake up soon." Anyways, he kind of took his time and. No, it's not his fault, but I'm just saying, we didn't leave the house till a little bit later.
The plan was not.
It did not work
to.
out. Yeah. So we didn't leave the house by like 10 o'clock. Mind you, we still have to be in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know how that is. There's some crazy traffic.
By
that's
12:30.
unavoidable.
By 12:30.
That's pushing it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's 100 miles from Santa Barbara, but that 100 miles can take up to 2.5 hours sometimes, honestly.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. So it's 10 o'clock. We're leaving. We get in the car and we're on our way. And we don't even make it out of Isla Vista yet, where he's like, I think I have a flat.
Oh.
Like, okay, so we pull into one plant because I had to get some, treats for the road. We had to do his immigration test.
Again, it takes like almost 2 to 2.5 hours
Yeah.
of traffic. We're not traffic people up here.
But he says he has a flat, so we're gonna pull over and check it out. And sure as shit, he has a flat. It's not like it was completely deflated. It's a low car, so he's got a fucking flat. And
It's like flat.
flat.
Oh, bummer.
So-
Does he have a spare on that little?
No,
He
no.
basically drives the Miata, like the Mazda Miata of Hondas. I'm not sure what the model is. Imagine a Mazda Miata with a Honda symbol on it, and
It's
you
literally an
you're
S2000. I can tell you right now.
convertible 2-door. It's small.
It's a small car,
So does it carry a spare
probably, but it's too low that
or like a donut?
it's
even
not in the car. It's not there.
that's the point. Yeah.
Okay, it's not there. We don't have it, so
Shit.
we're fucked. He's there's a gas station not that far. So we get to the gas station and we're trying to fill up the air to see what's going on.
Maybe it'll just blow up.
Yeah, maybe it'll just blow up. But he's already just fuming because he's a car guy. He's car guy and his car's not up to par when we're about to leave on this trip to go do his immigration exam. And this is a big deal.
Obviously, a big deal.
So we get to the gas station and sure as shit, it's out of service. And we're like, that's fine.
The air machine.
Yeah, the air machine is
great.
out of service. So the next gas station that may or may not have a working air machine is a mile away. It's already on a flat. It's a low cart. And I'm like, just leave me at Target. You go fill up and call. And he's like, it's not, there's no difference. Just get in the car. And I'm like, okay, let's just get in the car and we're leaving. And we get there and he puts air in the tire. Thank God it works. And it's free. They're supposed to be free. So go inside and ask them to turn it on because they will do it. So he fills it up and everything. And he has these little like pressure tire things to check them out, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily leaking, but he's not okay with the idea of us going to LA in his car
on a lower flat.
On a lower flat. Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot. It's a lot of driving.
It is a lot of driving. So as he's filling up this air and we're just sitting in this parking lot, we're supposed to be in LA. We left at 10. We're trying to be in LA by 12:30. So we're sitting in the parking lot of the gas station next to this air machine, and he's calling like big brand and like different places for his tire size, and nobody has it, and nobody can change it right away anyway, like an emergency.
It's like some small sports tire.
So no one fucking has it, and so we're like, and we even drive to big brand just to be like, what can you do for us? Like he was desperate.
They're like 4 new tires.
And they look at the tire, and there's a fucking nail just like jammed perfectly into it.
Oh, that's great. So they could patch it, right?
Well, it wasn't going to be right away. They were going to fix it, and he was like, it's another at least 1 to 2 hour wait. And I'm like, bro, we have to.
That's our
drive.
drive.
We should have been in Ventura right now. Like we should not be having this conversation. No. Like this is just a fucked. It's
too late for that.
So,
oh God,
we have no choice but to go find a rental somewhere. Okay.
Can you find them now? Because that was a problem in this town for a while.
No, I mean, we eventually got a rental.
Okay.
But we drive to the airport on his already like flat car. Again.
Oh my God.
And the airport, we go through all these like loops to get to the carport.
Which has freaking speed bumps, right?
Everything was there. It was just really bad.
I hear that rims on speed bump is great for the.
No, it's just. So we get to the window to the wall. No, the guy that was standing there. Yeah, I was like, I'm about to ask him. I'm just trying to ask him a question of where we can go get a rental at the airport, and he's like, oh yeah, the airport shut down.
What?
I'm like, what? What do you mean the airport?
Because of the rain?
No, because it was a fire. At the airport, nobody was going in, nobody was going out, let alone a rental.
Wait, so all the rental people just took advantage of that?
Nobody was moving. Nobody was getting anything in and out of the airport. That's all we knew. So we need to drive again somewhere else to find a fucking rental.
Did you go to that little ghetto spot at the corner just outside
Thrifties?
of the... Yes! The guy's
that was
private lot?
That's where we ended up eventually because we went to the Enterprise.
No, you always go to Thrifties first. That guy's the man.
We just figured that out.
I'm so sorry. You should have called me.
You know what? I was like,
I would
so
have
upset.
pointed you.
He was so upset already that I felt like if I made any suggestions, I'm just gonna like.
The funny thing is that Steve and I have navigated this same thing with him trying to get a stupid like rental car in the past. Which is why I said, did you have a hard time doing it? And we literally ended up at Thrifty, and it was like. The guy had offered to drive us the car, but when we showed up, I mean, on his breath was like the smell of some kind of alcohol.
Oh my
so we're
God.
like, you were going to drive us that car? Good thing we came to you.
It's a family business for sure.
It's a family business.
No, that they came in clutch because they just handed through him keys.
He's like, here, I just bought the truck for my mom. You can drive the truck.
I pleaded. So... There were so many obstacles to get it was giving me anxiety. I was so stressed out. We didn't leave Santa Barbara till like 11, maybe 11:20. As we
and
were
you're
getting,
still trying to get somewhere by noon 30.
12:30.
Yeah.
I'm literally calling the immigration services on the phone, and I'm like,
if you're tardy, where do you go?
Dude, I prayed out loud in the lobby.
Get out of our country.
I was praying in the lobby out loud. Like, Lord, forgive me for everything. Like, protect us, protect the people on the road. Because I know if we get this rental, he's not driving at a normal speed.
Nah, it's time to jam.
I was like, please protect me and the man I love and like everybody in the car around us. I was like, please, Lord, move everyone out of our way.
Lord, put the bubble around my car and let us get there as fast as possible.
I nearly yelled at him like maybe 2 to 3 times. in the car because he was going so
How many
fast.
Hail Marys did you say?
I stayed silent literally until we got there. And but what I was on the phone, like I said, I was calling the
He's white knucking it the whole time.
I was calling them, and the lady on the phone. I'm not saying she was prejudiced or anything.
Did she hear how brown you were in your voice?
No, I mean, look, I sound like a white girl. I mean, I think so.
That's what I was joking.
I don't
I'm
know.
Like, how could she be prejudiced on the phone to you?
Because like because Alex is next to me and he has to verify his information.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm just
He
the
sounds
I'm just the person, and like this is what he's doing. This is what it is for. And she's like, you cannot even be 5 minutes late. If you're not there on the dot, they will turn you away.
Yeah,
and maybe that's true.
It's true.
That's absolutely serious. But like we made it within the 30-minute window. And I was just praying, dude. He just jumped out of the car, and I looked for a parking spot.
Can I give you one of these?
I stayed silent the whole time.
I think that my applause is
until like he left the car, and I just bursted into tears.
Yay!
I did. No, I burst into tears.
You held it off until he was gone.
Until he was gone.
In a pile.
It
That's
was
great.
so hard.
You were there for your man, then your man walked away, and then you were there for you by crying.
Oh my God.
This is really intense.
I immediately called my mom, and I'm like, we made it. We're here. And she's like, what the fuck?
Did she know that you were dealing with that other stuff? Just like barely.
Yeah, I mean, the Enterprise, they were out of rentals.
So you guys made it down in
the airport was on fire. This black mooded lady was trying to tell my Russian boyfriend that he's not gonna make it. I was like, bitch, I prayed today. We gonna make it. We're gonna make it. And dude,
Si se puede.
I was on the phone with my mom, and I'm telling her what's going on, and I'm like crying I'm just so emotional. And then maybe like 15 minutes into our conversation, I got the text from Alex saying they let me in.
Yay!
Oh my God, I started like laughing, crying.
Sigh of relief.
I screamed.
Oh, so at that point, did you still think that he was like maybe not going to get in when you were talking to your mom?
No, I was on the phone. I was like, we're here. I just parked the car. Yeah. I get anxiety from driving a car anyway, so I was just like, I was so just gone in my brain. And he was projecting because he was angry, and I know. So
then awesome, you guys made it. He took the test. When does he find out if he passed it?
I think he already passed it, but he didn't choose a selective service, so he has to sign up for the military. He has to sign up for a branch.
I think that's
in case there's ever a draft.
That's everyone who's like a citizen over the age of 18.
Do all men have to?
That's what I just said. All men who are citizens over the age of 18. Well, at the time when you turn 18, you have to sign up for it. It's like what they did to replace the draft, which is what they used to have, you know.
Well, yeah, that's what he's signing up for. He's signing up for the draft.
It's not the same thing, though. I mean, it's selective
I don't
service.
know. I told him that he needs to talk to a recruiter, and he needs to talk to somebody who knows, like, who can sit there and talk to him, because what am I going to do? Look up some stuff on Google and tell him?
No, dude, like, okay, in a sense, it's the draft, but that's not what it is anymore. It doesn't work it's not the draft in the sense that the draft was the draft, but it's what replaces it.
But this is for like immigration men, like men who come from different countries have to sign up through our country to be able to serve.
It's everybody. Look it up.
I need to see that.
Just look it up on your phone right now. I'm telling you. Every male, when he turns 18 in this country, if he's a citizen, has to sign up for it. All it is, you don't have to be scared. I'm letting you know it's no different than what your brother
I'm not scared.
Than what like your brother would have signed up for. Although I realize that's a bad example because your actually active military brother wouldn't. Right? A normal male has to sign up for that. It doesn't mean they're going to go off to war. If there ever was a draft reinstated, they would be able to call upon the people who'd been enlisted in that manner, I suppose, of selective services. So it's like, you know what it reminds me of? You know how like the whole wet and reckless versus DUI thing is? It's kind of like that. Like, it's only a DUI again if you fuck up. Otherwise, it stays a wet and reckless. Well, in this case, it's only a draft again if we fuck up and get into a really serious war. Otherwise, it's just the selective services.
Oh.
There you go.
Where do I sign up?
Well, that's awesome. Good for him. And then, so he's going to be a citizen finally. And he's been, what, green card till now?
I was just so nervous the entire way. I was like, if they kick him out, I'm about to marry this guy. Like, today is going to be my wedding day. I was so stressed out, I'm telling you.
I don't think that's the kind of thing he was going to. If what he's into right now is the same as Eric did. You're going to get your citizenship. That's not when you get kicked out. He's already been a permanent resident.
No, I know.
I feel you, though. You know, you're just as useless as I was. Eric, like, when
That's
he
so
was...
nice of you.
I know. I'm just being I'm your friend. I'm here for you. And I'm telling you that I understand how
I'm
it
just
feels.
telling you the pressure of just like, you should have had this taken care of. You knew your car is not like the most reliable. I've asked him like a week prior. I was like, do we need to make car arrangements? What is the plan? And he's just like, nah, we'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Early
I'm
on.
like, you know what? Okay.
So I'm married.
Like, what was I supposed to do? Wake his ass up? Like, he's a man. He needs to wake. I woke up at that time.
I just feel like as a fellow person who's now married to an immigrant who has naturalized, like, I get it. When he was just an immigrant, I felt, oh my, I can offer something here. I could give him marriage and he could stay. And I asked him, Eric, if you ever need that, just let me know. And he's all, oh, I'm good. They're sponsoring me through my work.
You're like, oh.
I was like, damn. Then in that case, I don't have much to offer you. I am sorry. There is no dowry.
Just projecting your uselessness onto me.
I am kind of poor.
But I'm funny.
But I make up for it in personality. Clearly. Yeah. We're really similar in ways, Dani.
Wait, how many views do we have on our first video?
What's your distance of age between you guys? Is it the same? Me and Eric's 5 years.
I think it's 5 also.
Oh my lordy.
I know.
It's just like a beautiful coin that's been flipped around. I love this.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like immigrants. No offense to non-immigrants. I like immigrants. I'm a non-immigrant. I like Dani.
Alien.
Nah, your dad was, though. Hey, is your dad a legal citizen?
Yeah.
When your folks first met, was he a citizen of Mexico?
Yes.
So he and your mom eventually married, and then did he become...
I believe...
Is he naturalized, or does he just have a green card?
No, he is naturalized. The fuck does that even mean?
That means that you're a citizen.
I mean, I know, but like...
You can vote.
I don't use
There's a few things that's the biggest difference is you can vote, and you could just leave the country for, say, more than a 6-month period of time for traveling without losing your status. As a green card holder, you must stay in this country for like at least 6 months consecutively every year, or you'll lose your green card. So like for Eric, one of his big motivators behind naturalizing and becoming a citizen versus staying with a green card is perhaps an ability to move to Sweden in the future and be able to move back to the U.S. after that. If he only ever had a green card and he moved back to Sweden, that's it. He's in Sweden now. So there's a practical nature to naturalizing.
There is nothing practical about what you just said.
Your dad could move to Mexico and then move back to the U.S. because he's a naturalized citizen.
Okay.
If he only had his green card and moved to Mexico and like the pandemic happened and he got stuck down there for fucking more than 6 months, he would have lost his green card. That's very significant.
Oh, yeah. No, I know that.
Well, you just fucking make fun of me because you tune out and you're like, oh, yeah, that's useless. And for everyone else that's actually able to listen for more than a goldfish span of attention, perhaps finishing my thought is a good thing. So for all of you who are listening that aren't Dani, you're welcome. For Dani, I'm so sorry. That was so painful for you.
I just...
It's not when I talk about emotions or something. I agree. When I talk about something that actually has like a substantive purpose or fucking message, I do feel a little bit beholden to finishing the thought. That's all.
Yeah.
The rest of the time I can just and you're like, anyway, moving on. The dog farted. Hey.
I heard her too.
I know.
Nice, Bindi.
I hope that you guys all just heard that. That is the creature that we call Bindi, and she makes sounds like that.
So after the exam, it all kind of like just finally, everything worked out. And we went and got tacos somewhere delicious in LA. They were so good.
Good news.
Consomme and everything.
So Alex is going to be a citizen.
Yeah.
And
then this
you could move
fucking-
to Russia with him someday. How exciting.
Only if we're in a village somewhere in the woods. But
Deep in
and then
Siberian
after
woods,
this
where only wolf can find.
this sweet prince of a motherfucker took
Alex,
me.
I'm so sorry. That was a terrible accent. I'm really sorry.
He took me to Build-A-Bear. It was so fucking awkward though, not gonna lie. Like I was super stoked. I was so happy and he was happy. Like we were both so excited to do this.
I think in a cute way, it does feel like a very American thing to do immediately on the heels of becoming basically a citizen, to go and buy some totally useless but really fun stuff.
It's actually so sentimental to me.
Of course.
But
Notice I said stuff, not shit. Respect to you, bear. What do we call the bear? Romy. Respect. We'll have to put a picture of Romy up on...
I did. You guys will see it. So if you guys follow us and you can check out our Instas, and you'll definitely find a picture of Romy.
At spectrum.pod.
But we walk into Build-A-Bear and we're stoked, but the people kind of made it a little awkward, and they were like, how long have you guys been together? And we're trying to explain that. We're like, maybe under a year.
How long
and
have
they
you
were
been
like,
together?
Like 9 months.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, I sorry, I said funny.
Like maybe, yeah.
Because it feels longer is why I said it that way.
It was just at some point I felt like I was picking up baby clothes, and he was so into, like, I feel like the way he was so involved in picking out the clothes and picking out shoes and sweaters, and he chose the pink shoes.
I
and
guess
the
you're
pink
right.
bow.
It kind of is like baby-sized clothing.
It was baby shit as fuck. Like I almost gagged a couple times because I was just like,
that bear.
this will not go anywhere past a fucking pink bear.
That
Like,
bear's outfit
I don't want to
will be your newborn's outfit one day, I
it's
predict.
So tiny.
In the same way that my Build-A-Bear workshop bear from my childhood, which I made a little tiny magician cow. It was cute and it had a top hat. Then like flash forward to college when I'm going to music festivals such as LIB and Lucidity and whatnot. And people are wearing tiny top hats, and you can buy these for friggin' $100. And I'm looking at my Build-A-Bear cow and I say, oh, what's up, tiny top hat? I just found a new use for you. And I decorated it myself with some feathers and junk, and bada bing, bada boom. In the same way that Build-A-Bear hat became useful in my real life, this Build-A-Bear's friggin' overalls are going to be on your newborn someday. Because you're going to have, I predict that you're going to have Russian Mexicans someday.
Do you think they're going to be cute?
Well, they'll be American as shit because they'll be Russian Mexican. That's pretty cute.
I know.
Congrats on your love. Now let's move on.
No, like it literally was awkward.
9 months.
But I
dude.
was super stoked about it. I feel like I've been with him so much longer.
Yeah.
Do you think your spouse would kill you?
No. But there was this one time. So Eric is a notorious sleep talker, and early on in our relationship of living together, we'd already been dating maybe 2 years with me in Los Angeles, him in Santa Barbara. I finally moved to Santa Barbara. He had just graduated. He got his first job. He stayed in town. Mm-hmm. We move into the first place we actually rent together. I meet Morgan. She's living across the alleyway. And she's over for a drink, maybe at like 10 at night. It's not too late. Sweet has gone to bed. He starts sleep talking. I'm going, oh, isn't it cute? It's like a 1-bedroom apartment, so you can hear him through like a cracked door for the dog, right? He starts, and it's mostly Swedish gibberish, like, sure. Sort of sounds Swedish, sounds like gibberish. And then all of a sudden, kill. And I fucking look at Morgan and I was like, bitch, you heard it. You fucking heard that shit. If something happens to me, you were
so funny.
Fucking here. Because it so immediately went from like, oh my God, it's so cute, to like, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy? Who am I living with? I thought he only did it in Swedish. All of a sudden it was English. It was the first time I had audibly heard English in his sleep talking. And it was without mistake the word kill.
Yeah.
Kill.
That's crazy. It was just so funny.
Past lives.
I just feel like sleeping with people, like actual, like even like your own siblings, and just sleeping like being next to someone who is sleeping is fucking weird.
Oh my gosh. I love that you say that. I thought you were going to be like, it's so intimate.
No, like I like to be the big spoon, and every now and then I'll get a little fart. I'll get this little rumble, and I'm like, oh, sorry. And I fall asleep, and I'll take naps. Like I'm a
Man.
napper. I nap throughout my day, at least once. And if I don't, I'm falling asleep early.
Okay. We were just sidelining about Kim Kardashian and the Marilyn Monroe dress and whether she'll wear it to the Met Ball, blah. But I say, yeah, okay, so she did. Wonderful. I was just going to say, I was like, whatever. At least she has those curves. And you were like, yeah, she was short. No one thought she could model. Shut up, meatball. It's like, at least she has those curves. And you're like, well, they were natural. And then I was thinking, you know what? Everybody wants Kim Kardashian to just be like the hottest shit ever. So
she is.
Right. So if it takes plastic surgery to keep that up, who fucking cares? Don't we all want Barbie to be real?
I'm just tired of people thinking that Kim Kardashian is not iconic.
She's definitely iconic.
Yeah.
I think you could probably find someone on every continent around the globe and say that name, even in a different language, they would know who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
That is iconic. That's what they used to say about Michael Jackson and Coca-Cola. Everyone around the globe knows what that shit is.
To Kim Kardashian's iconic ass.
I feel like more people know who Kim Kardashian is than Elon Musk.
I'm all, what?
She's way hotter.
I just think, well, she's been around for a lot longer, you know?
I think he has more kids.
And she kind of just surrounds, not controversy, but...
Doesn't he have like 9 kids?
Who?
Elon Musk.
I would have no idea. I thought he had that one kid that was like ex-wife.
He has a shitload of kids because he's one of these freaks that thinks that he's so smart that the world has too many stupid people breeding, and so there needs to be more smart people. So his whole like methodology is that it's excusable for a smart man to have like sire as many children as possible because the world needs smart people.
So what's Nick Cannon's excuse?
The world needs funny people?
Oh,
he's kind of funny.
Is he?
He was.
I don't think so.
I didn't even remember who that was. Like, why do I care about Nick Cannon again? Is that Nickelodeon? Are we talking Nickelodeon?
I think that's Bow Wow.
What the fuck? No one cares about these people.
I woke up this morning and I had like a Backstreet Boys album like playing in the back of my head somewhere.
Okay, enough. All right, that was
ADD.
Segue. Back to it. I had a quick check-in. Last week was cool. We had the comedy festival that went on Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights.
We had a great time.
Had a super good time. Eric and Dani was the homie. Dani and Alex watched our Little for us on Saturday, and Eric got to come along to the comedy fest, the Laugh
Mom
Fest.
and Dad had a date.
I called it the wrong thing. It was the first annual Santa Barbara Laugh Festival, and you can find them online. Anyway, it was a hoot and a holler, and Saturday
It was a hoot and a holler.
and Saturday night was the finale night, and it was fun. And Eric and I watched up to the end, and then rushed off to SoHo and saw Dirtwire play, which probably haven't done
Was everybody old there?
Outside of a festival ever. I mean, old like me, old. Everyone was probably ages like 24 and up. I had one of my like 23-year-old friends had his literal parents there.
That's kind of...
I thought at first he said there was like, you know, as loud. He's like, I thought he's like, there's a lot of parents here. I was like, yeah, there is a lot of parents here. Like me and my man and our friends there. And he's like, no, I said, I brought my parents here. And I was like, fuck, dude, I am feeling old. Like, your parents are not quite as old as my parents, but that's tight. Mm-hmm.
Dude, speaking of parents, fuck parents.
Nah. You already got to talk. So then after that, that's all cool and fine. Now we're into this week. I finally have an update on the Honda Fit. That's not that exciting. Actually, more exciting is that coming out of Laugh Festival, I think I finally have some audio engineering work. So hashtag come by this Monday night to Red Piano at their blues night and hang out with your girl while I do some audio engineering
That's really cool.
and drink a beer and dance my little booty to whatever the blues is going on and make sure they sound good. So, exciting things. Now, less exciting, the Honda Fit that I crashed a couple weeks back, we finally have some news. There's 2 different hatchbacks. Our shop guy is haggling to get one of those 2, and then he's haggling with his buddy to get the price down of the work overall, and I'm 99% positive the Swede is going for it. So, guys, congratulations to me. I am the proud new owner of basically a chop top. I can't wait to drop my 4-year-old off at preschool and that. She basically goes to school with all of the doctor's kids from freaking Cottage Hospital. Me showing up with all my tattoos already is kind of a farcical experience, let alone doing it coming out of what looks like some 15-year-old kid's beater that he might be inheriting as he turns 16.
I wonder if he's doing it just to punish you.
I don't think so. He's really a pragmatist.
I know, but isn't California going through this whole electric car thing?
Nah. I will gripe about that. This is not a progressive enough state, or people just don't care enough, or what have you, to tax the rich for the sake of the car companies to basically get a subsidy. So I actually don't disagree with that not passing right now.
Yeah, no.
We got to save it. When we go to finally tax the rich, I feel like it does need to go towards something that actually fucking counts. Otherwise, it's going to be shooting in the foot like the taxpayers for having done it. So, because the rich already fucking run everything. So, and most wealthy people actually say, oh yeah, tax me as long as it actually fucking goes to something. So you want everyone to be happy? Wait and do it in the future. It's not for Lyft and Uber. Fuck those guys. So no, we're not going to get an electric right now. Maybe there is federal money there still, so we could still get a subsidy if we got one. It's just more we don't want to spend money on a car right now newly. But I do think that practical nature of my husband and my approach to life is sometimes limited, and this, I feel, for me would be a limit, and maybe it's not for him.
Speaking of money and rich people and bullshit, did you see the Santa Barbara Independent release this story about the Santa Barbara County having an extra $14 million for just a random amount of leftover money? And they were all, this last Tuesday meeting, they were just well, it's not a bad problem to have, but it'll make next year's budget probably change significantly,
Wait, did you just say they found an excess of money in their budget?
Yeah,
that's insane, because they apparently, according to John Palmentary, are wasting $880,000 on this whole putting the green crap down in downtown on State Street for bicyclists, and then ripping that stuff up in downtown on State Street from the bicyclists and what have you. They've spent $880,000 on that crap so far.
So
and they still have an excess of money.
They're just looking for, that's why I wonder if people could just go up to the next meeting, since you have all this money, there's projects that are needed,
Yo, follow up on this with Sasha. She's the knowledgeable local politics folks. She's the knowledgeable one. And so I think follow up with her, because
everybody hit up Randy Rousey, the mayor of Santa Barbara.
Alrighty. Randy Rousey.
Yo,
I mean, come on, that name though, Randy Rousey. I'm sorry, my mind's in the gutter. I just
name of a piglet.
It sounds like a porno name, Randy Rousey. Let me arouse you.
But like a pig.
Okay, I think it's time for us to move into prepared segments, or where you at, girl? What you feeling?
I remember when I emailed him back and forth for the rape kit issue that was handled in the Santa Barbara just the Santa Barbara Police Department.
Yeah, dude, that shit was gnarly.
And emailing him back and forth of at least 15 emails. I mean, that'll be a story for another time, but that shit was super fucked.
Yeah, Dani had a whole kind of diatribe she had to follow through on with some fuckery and Santa Barbara politics and Santa Barbara police, and literally Cottage Hospital not having rape kits on hand, which is just criminal. Honestly, I cannot believe they call themselves one of the top hospitals in the state without having those on hand.
Well, it's not that they don't have them. It's that they don't have the exact nurses to perform these special,
So what's the point of having them if you don't have someone that is trained on them?
I mean, how hard is it to swab?
Again, with just you call yourself
Is it like an emotional training? Like, that's already emotional enough. Like, nobody needs, I don't know.
Whatever, man. They can train whoever they want in a pinch if they want to.
The city did not deliver on a poor girl who was raped in downtown, like Figueroa Street, like off to the
rape culture in Santa Barbara County has traditionally been very bad and very anti-victim. I too have been raped in this county in the past in college, and I literally got caught. I actually went through the whole rape kit thing. I went through having the perpetrator do a on-phone interview where he ousted himself. When I called from the UC police department down at UCLA on a landline, the whole thing was recorded. They arrested him and it was going to go to court. All of this to have the assistant DA, who was a female, and like the prosecuting attorney, who was a female, call me in a joint call and basically talk me down from going through to court because they'd seen so many of these things not work out. And this is not just a problem here. This is a problem across the country. You can look, there's investigative journalists that have done really good work that looks into the pressure that happens against rape victims, telling them not to go to court cases because, oh, well, you're probably just going to have the jury go against you anyway. But the truth is, you never know unless you go there. And it's kind of bullshit that you would talk people away from it, except that our system can't handle everyone going to court. And that's the truth too. Talk to your friends that are lawyers. They'll tell you that.
I just feel like after I went through this process of, figuring out where to go next, it was so hard for me to figure out who do I go to after. And, it was for somebody who was mentally disabled, who was taken advantage of. And I was her, not power of attorney, but basically her caregiver.
Advocate.
Yeah. Caregiver, advocate, whatever you want to call it. I'm telling them she has a very extensive mental history report in the hospitals anyway.
She's schizophrenic.
I mean, they should know that because she's a regular there. So we're here for another. Yeah. It was just awful. And then the police getting involved and they're like, well, you're not the one who was raped. So unless she comes forward, we can't do anything. I'm like, dude, she's literally mentally disabled. I'm telling you what happened. I have it in written form. We were there the night of.
I know, dude.
She was bruised. She was bloody. Like, oh, dude, I don't even.
It's fine. And I might not keep all of this stuff in.
We can talk about it.
We can talk about it. We just need to break things up with comedy if we're going to keep calling ourselves an entertainment podcast.
All I'm saying is if I have a platform, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah, bitch. These are the hard truths in life. We only laugh because life is so fucking horrible at times that it requires like extreme humor on the other side.
So mad.
Yeah, dude. Well, it should. That shit's fucked up.
Anyways, make me laugh, clown.
I will. I was in like God damn it. Have I ever told you about my family dick problem?
What?
Have I told you about my family dick problem?
Family dick problem? My brain goes, it literally split into, I think my eyes went cross-eyed.
When I was growing up as a kid, I had not one, but two grandpa dicks. So I just thought that everybody must have a grandpa dick. Like, that's just the thing you have. You have a grandpa whoever and you have a grandpa dick. Because I've got two.
That is not a dick problem.
And then that means the family name is Richard. So I also have on either side an Uncle Richard. And
that's hilarious.
And on at least one side also a cousin named Richard. So there's 3 dicks on one side. There's 2 dicks on the other. But some of them are dicks in denial. Some of them just go by Richard still. Back in my grandfather's day, he was Uncle Dick to his nieces and nephews, and then he was Grandpa Dick to his grandbabies. But my uncles, lo and behold,
I guess that is a dick
in
problem.
the 90s, decided that Uncle Dick was not good enough for them.
Can you imagine if you had an Aunt Pussy?
Aunt Pussywilla.
Ew.
Well, Pussywilla could be a name.
Pussy Willa?
Yeah, like Pussywilla.
Is that a real thing?
Well, a pussy willow tree is, so.
Pussy Willow?
Yeah. Anyway, so back to my family dick problem. So then my parents think, oh, my God, if we ever have a son, the one name we won't give him is Richard, you know, because we don't need any more dicks in the family.
Word.
So they don't have a son, but they have my older sister. And what do they decide to name her?
Rachel.
But Rachel, which is almost like the feminine equivalent of Richard.
Oh my God.
And somehow both my parents missed that until they've like committed to the name.
I'm going to call her Dick.
I know. So really, Rachel is just
Like Sister Dick? Like a saint.
Sister Dickley. So now you know my family dick problem.
You know what's so funny? I knew about your grandpa dicks,
Whoa, Bindi, God damn it.
but I think you might actually have a family dick problem.
Yeah, thank you.
And especially with like
We're drawn to
Rachel.
dicks. What can I say?
I cannot disagree with
So, and if you remember back in the day, those like really cool little cartoons and stickers and whatnot, like that Hot Topic pulled up on, but it was from original comics back in the day, the little like Dick and Jane things. Dick and Jane. You know what I mean? Like, Dick loves the skinny, but he never says no to a fatty. And then it shows like a little kid with like a fat joint in his hand. You ever seen those?
I think I figured out my Thanksgiving problem.
Oh, you have a turkey. Oh no, you have a native problem,
Well, no.
which means that you have.
I think it's my excuse.
It's pride.
I think I'm projecting a past trauma that I've shoved so down somewhere. That
Did you get touched on Thanksgiving by a turkey?
Not exactly.
And then Danny just hears, no.
But I figured out that I just don't fuck with my family.
Oh,
And like,
yeah. You know,
when
that's
you
why
don't fuck with your family.
Wait, I would do a poll. I think most people that don't like holidays is because they probably don't enjoy spending time with their families.
Yeah, but I remember this one Thanksgiving where my mom, there's just been so much drama that I'm just like, I'm just gonna like not be a part of it.
I'm not surprised.
So there was this one Thanksgiving where I blacked out. Fucking fool of myself. I remember yelling at my uncle. I'm like, these are the best fucking Brussels sprouts. And my mom's like shaking her head and putting her head down. I remember like bits and parts and pieces.
Wait, how old do you think you were?
This was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. So early 20s.
Yeah.
Do we know
Early
how old
mid?
we are?
I don't know.
Mid-ish 20s? Whatever we call that. Early to mid-ish 20s.
Just a different version of myself, I suppose. Yeah.
To get down.
Brick house. No, my shit got wrecked that night. Like, I remember
Bummer.
it was a fucking fiasco type of night for me. I super fucked up.
Yeah.
Super fucked up. So I think that's why I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm just going to sit this one out and claim my brown face.
It's like your acid flashback. You're like, do I do it again?
I love
remember the
acid.
last time. I know, me too. But I do have a couple of those
I hate
real
Thanksgiving.
moments. Oh my God.
So I don't.
I love acid. I hate Thanksgiving. Should be a sticker. If someone sent me that sticker, I wouldn't be mad at you. Holidays 2022.
So, but still, like for Thanksgiving, I think I just want to go to a movie. I think I want to be by myself on that holiday. I think it's a holiday for me to like be by myself. But you know what's so cool?
You
My
could go to
partner-
Vegas for like a half price ticket.
No. You know what I really love though? That my partner's birthday is the very next day. Or on the day. It's
Like the
November
26th?
25th.
25th. Oh.
And it's either like within
Does that
the
mean
day
he's still
after, the
he's
day
a Scorpio?
before. No, he's a Sagittarius.
He is.
Yeah.
Are you
Positive.
okay? I know as a Gemini, it actually, like, if you believe in these
I
things,
would
it
not
actually
be with
makes a
him.
fucking difference. Like, the one Scorpio that I was with is the one ex-boyfriend that I do not talk to at
Dude,
all.
same. Like, I don't fuck with a Scorpio.
But not because of me.
Not
because
even
of-
girl
wait,
Scorpios.
not because of me. Because of him. He avoids
Word.
me like the plague.
Yeah, he avoids me like the plague,
like
which
the
he should.
plague.
Good.
So I think actually maybe it's Geminis that leave a bad taste in the Scorpio's mouth and not the other way.
You know what, though? I think it's because they figured out that the manipulation just isn't working anymore. Because how long did that breakup last for you? That was not what we're looking for.
I know. It was. Maybe it was one of these. Hold on, wait.
You know what? But
It
you're
was
right.
one of those.
You're
Because
totally
the joke
right.
was on me at the end of the day. But no, it was one of my longest relationships, and it was by far my most fiery, and it was not helped out by the fact that he was in the stage and age where if one is genetically predisposed to becoming schizophrenic, it can happen.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was actually in the early
you said
phases of
that.
schizophrenia before it was diagnosed. So that definitely fucking made shit worse because I was like gaslighting me much, like all the time. Like you don't remember any of these conversations, but I think that was
me.
it.
I was the
Yeah.
Gemini with the like schizo personality, and the Scorpio really like fried my brain.
Yeah.
I'm
one of those empaths that takes on energy of others. So if you're starting to go into crazy town and you don't realize it, I'm gonna take on crazy town and not realize it either. And then it's just crazy town at a party together, and that's not fucking actually fun. Like crazy town times like it's not even times two. It's like what you call it, squared. Like crazy town squared is fucked up, dude. You don't want to be in that place.
He told me I was crazy so many times that when I eventually was like, damn, am I the crazy one?
Well, dude, and then what happens is like you get so frustrated that you go, fine, like if someone's gonna accuse me of a thing, then I might as well just like act out in a way that like justifies that accusation, and that's like a terrible thing to do. Like I remember one time,
a teenager.
Yeah, and I did that. I remember doing one time. I was like so mad in an instance, like when I was with my Scorpio ex, and I'm like downtown Truckee. It's like a winter night, dude. I'm in my like freaking little Subaru, and I was so effing pissed. And I don't remember about what, but I do remember the outcome was like I get in my Subaru and I fucking rammed it like up onto the sidewalk, like into a fucking snowbank and shit just to make a point, and then like slammed it in reverse, like half sliding out of the spot, and then slammed it into like first and like fucking just like skidded out of there. And like just for context, this is a small mountain town.
Was that your first wreck?
No, I didn't wreck. It was a dumb fucking idea because I was 20 at the time. I probably had alcohol in my system. My ex was at the bar, and so I was making a big fucking thing about something, and we lived just above like the bars, like walking distance, really. Not like literally above, but in a neighborhood wise, just above the bar. And I could have walked there, but it was this whole, it was this mind game thing, and I made this dramatic thing of going down there in the car, and this dramatic thing of using the car in a dramatic way, and then I fucking tore out of there dramatic.
Petty drama.
So petty, shitty drama that you do when you're 20 and with someone who's going crazy and you're feeling crazy too. Like you don't, you're not yourself, and it's not the version of yourself you want to fucking remember. But I remember being that fucking person, and I remember being like, when my daughter was in my belly and I knew she was almost going to be a Scorpio, I was like, all right, universe, please keep her in there a couple more weeks till she's sad.
No.
It's not to say I don't get along with Scorpios. Some of my best friends in the world, one of my favorite fucking cousins is Scorpio. No, not that we can't. It's just my mom was a Scorpio and I'm a Gemini, and I didn't want to have a daughter that was a Scorpio when I'm a Gemini. Knowing the relationship that my mom and I had was like the way it was, I wanted a different relationship. And it turns out when I finally figured out that I was about to have a Sagittarius, that lo and behold, us shitty fucking spring and summer babies just think that we don't have friends with fall and winter birthdays, but they do. It just falls around the holidays, so they don't have parties. And then all of a sudden, like when I was about to have a Sagittarius, it turns out like 5 of my favorite people on the planet are Sagittariuses, and they're like, oh my God, me too. And I was like, no wonder I love you so much. Like, and then I was like, oh, this is good signs, good signs. Lots of Sages in my life that are cool people. So now my daughter's one of them.
I only have one Scorpio friend, and we're new friends. But you know what's funny? I met her through like a group of friends, and she admitted to telling me that I actually slept with one of your ex-boyfriend.
Oh wait, she knew who you were through
Oh yeah, she totally
fucking
knew.
an ex?
She totally knew who I was.
Yeah.
But she admitted to me, she's like, "Oh yeah, we like fooled around." And I was like,
Wait, like when you were with the guy still?
I don't know. And like, you know what?
We didn't go
you
into
know
those
what's
details.
so funny? I'm so at peace with.
You don't even want to know.
I don't even care. A part of me was like, "Tell me more."
No, more like that. I don't even care. That's
But
better.
like, I was like, "Really? Oh, so you were disappointed too?" I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, that's totally fine. I'm glad you feel comfortable with telling me."
Hilarious.
And I was like, honestly, and I was straight up with her. I was like, I will be your friend. Like, I'm always up to giving people the benefit of the doubt. But I straight up told her, I was like, if you talk to my boyfriend ever, I'll fucking gut you.
My
like,
now boyfriend.
I mean, I don't have to because I'm
think
so
actually
secured in my
he would gut
relationship.
himself if he talked to her because it seems
Oh,
like he's the one that's more protective of you anyway.
He is. Like, he's very, like, no, he really is.
All right, I'm not trying to slam all y'all's cute little.
If you're checking up on me, fuck you.
So, dude, yesterday I was listening to a pretty good podcast, and and it was talking about this thing, this tactic, if you will, called conversational receptiveness. And I thought that it was pretty cool to share because I recognize that a lot of what that tactic includes are behaviors and mannerisms that I fucking used when I was on whatever pod last time, in order to try and like tease more information out of people who like had opposing views to me or or said stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with. And so I wanted to share it here because I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like without necessarily knowing it, I sort of touched on some of this technique. And the reason that I did is from intentional training I've done with like coaching in the past and with what's called active listening. So active listening and conversational receptiveness are pretty fucking similar.
Like I need to practice my receptive listening.
You did. Well, what you need to practice is active listening. But
oh, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, you do. But that's okay. We'll get there.
Aww.
I love you. You're yourself. It's not a bad thing. Anyway, it keeps me in check from obviously train wrecking and talking too much. So conversational receptiveness, it's sort of like it's a tool in the toolkit of trying to have a conversation with someone when you're in conflict. And so the ultimate goal of this whole thing is
don't swing on them.
Yes, and the idea is that conflict is very normal in life and between people and among folks within a society, and we all have different ideas and stuff. And so conflict arises on a daily basis in different ways on different levels. And it's unavoidable. And a lot of times you can kind of agree to disagree and walk away or something. But in certain cases, that's like not able to be done. Say like with like me and my husband in our relationship because we're raising a child together. Like if there's something that like we like have conflict with when it comes to her, we can't agree to disagree and walk away because we still have to have action at the end that's still based off the thing that is under conflict.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have got to work together despite being under conflict.
Yeah.
And when you agree to disagree, it's a way to walk away from conflict, which is fine in certain instances. But if you need to get something done, doesn't work, right? So this is a way to like get shit done with someone when you might be diabolically opposed to each other in views, yet have to fucking work together.
I like that word.
Diabolical. Right. So it's basically what Congress needs to learn, but good luck with that.
I'm sure they're informed of the word diabolical.
So conversational receptiveness uses this nice like acronym to kind of like express what you do. And the acronym comes to saying hear as in HEAR, as in I hear you. Because really at the end of the day, all anyone wants
is to be heard. It's such a very simple idea, and we all can relate to that, right? Absolutely.
You want to feel seen and heard in a way, and so and this is especially so
it's
when you feel strongly about something. This is especially so, and usually when you get in a conflict with people, you each feel strongly about something, and maybe you each feel like you aren't being seen or heard by each other, and so it kind of like grows the conflict and makes it even fucking harder to see and hear each other. So this is a way to sort of like avoid that growing of the fuckery so that instead you can maybe achieve something. And the achievement, by the way, is not to fucking agree at the end. That's not the point. Like it's not even to agree to disagree. It's that you're just trying to find a way to fucking work together despite being on different ends of where you fucking think about something.
You explain that like it's actually hard for people, but
It really fucking is, dude. That's why I've said it like 4 ways, because I'm like, okay, we all can relate to this in at least one iteration of how I've said
Yeah,
this.
totally.
So with here, the first is that you're sort of hedging. H is for hedging your claims. Your claims are like your ideas or your perspectives that you're presenting. So instead of when you're going to be in conversation and saying, this is so strongly how it is, this is what I think, and this is the one and only thing, you're like, okay, maybe this thing, maybe not. It could come across as a little wishy-washy if it isn't paired with these other things.
That sounds like a beginning of a debate.
It's just saying that I'm sort of open-minded in a sense, right? Like,
Okay.
Here's kind of where I am in my ideas, but I'm not going to so strongly present them as to make it seem like I'm stonewalling whatever your ideas are, okay? So you're hedging your claims. E is for emphasizing agreement among the parties.
But what if you don't agree?
The thing that you're directly talking about, you probably don't. But you got to suss out something that maybe you do. If there's like a case where you're talking about like safety in schools or something, maybe you don't always agree to what that is, but maybe you can both agree that guns don't belong in schools.
Or that
something.
safety is important.
Right. Like, so you start with like where you can agree versus focusing on what you're disagreeing on.
Okay.
You focus on things that maybe you actually have common ground on, can agree on, right?
Okay.
So you're emphasizing, so H is hedging claims. E is emphasizing agreement among parties. A is acknowledgement of the other's perspective. Where you bring that in is kind of just by restating back to them what was said to you by them. So they say, oh, like purple groceries are the only thing you can buy on Sunday. And then you say, when you go to say whatever you think, like maybe you believe orange groceries are the only things to be bought on Sunday. But when you go back to, you say, oh, so what you're saying is that you think only purple groceries can be bought on Sunday. Like you restate the thing they said, or you're like, oh, that's interesting. Purple groceries only on Sunday for you.
I feel like that's just a specific
All I'm saying
example.
is that, but it's not what I'm saying isn't
No, I
what
get it.
matters. It's the idea of,
My brain's just ADD. Keep going.
so of repeating it back just in a manner enough to make them know that you were listening. So acknowledge of others' perspective. And then R, the last one, and this is the most important. When you said don't throw punches, this is that one.
Oh.
R is reframing to the positive versus the negative. So like it kind of like piggybacks on the like find the shit that you have in common, and then rather than being like, God, like instead of saying like, oh, don't forget that thing, you say, hey, remember that thing. That's an idea of reframing in the positive. Like, you don't forget your keys, Dani. It's like, hey, remember your keys, Dani. You're saying the same message, but one of those is framed in a positive and one is framed in a negative. For people like Morgan who visualize stuff, they'll always say you got to do it in the positive because the brain is stupid and it forgets half the things. So if you say, don't forget the keys, Dani, my brain only remembers forget the keys, Dani, versus if you say, remember the keys, Dani, my brain only remembers remember, Dani, remember keys. Like your brain hacks it down. So if you do the negative, you forget things. If you do the positive, you remember things. I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like the good wolf and the bad wolf. Like, which one are you going to feed?
Exactly. And so the whole result of that here is that you're trying to sow respect and rapport and trust with the other person so that at the end of the day, even if you fucking disagree and even if you're on different sides, you can fucking sit down and have dinner together and say, let's eat salmon.
You know what's so funny? I feel like that's like the perfect spider web of manipulation.
In a way, it kind of is like a manipulative tactic, but there's a purpose to it because the end goal is to actually achieve something. And if you're on these diametrically opposed sides and all you want to do is sit there with your fingers in your fucking ears yelling at each other and no one's listening, you don't really get anything accomplished. And like things still have to get done even when people disagree. So that's the idea. This is a method for getting fucking shit done, even though you disagree. And why is it relevant to me? Because I'm in a relationship where we disagree all the goddamn time, dude. And we're raising a kid together and it's like, it gets toxic. And I'm trying to find ways to be less negative, less toxic. And so I'm always trying to better myself, find some tactic. I want to use this in my own relationship. I would love to see this used out there in the world by politicians and shit. I don't have much faith in that. I do have faith in my ability to maybe use it with my own husband sometimes when we're on our best. I would love that. Like, great.
The face you just made. Great.
I mean, really, though.
No, I get it. I feel like that's a good way to dissect people and their personalities.
Yeah, dude. So then if you were to use conversational receptiveness in practice, your result is that you might sour respect and rapport with the other, and that's growing trust. That means you can actually sit down. Why? Because they fucking feel heard, and feeling heard is feeling respected. And why is that the case? Well, you demonstrated that shit through the power of asking questions, right? Versus making statements. Asking questions is important. Elaboration questions, follow-up questions, Dani. That's how you let people know that you give a shit and we're listening.
Sometimes I just don't give a shit.
I know you don't, and that's why you don't know how to active listen. All right.
I listen.
Goals of questions. You want to continue your line of conversation in order to demonstrate that you're listening and interested.
I just nod my head and make eye contact.
Dani, classically, it's a show don't tell through active listening. You're creating this. I'm just going to keep saying stupid shit that makes no sense.
I've just been a delinquent all my life.
You want to create a listening triangle.
Ew. Like with your ear to, like your hand to your ear.
That part was like...
Dr. May.
No,
Can you imagine like you're in an argument with somebody and you put your hands in a triangle and you put it to your ear and like,
that's
you want to keep going?
Yeah, yo, dude. In a sense, that's almost what she said. Like this researcher was talking about this part, and I actually got annoyed with it.
I will bop somebody.
So she was like, okay, let's say like you're trying to solve something for someone. You just, all right, they talk to you and you listen. And then...
Like our tie-dye story?
Well, just like, let's say you needed advice or something. Like a certain friend right now.
Like the time I asked you how I tie-dye a t-shirt?
No. I'm going to go with something that's actually relevant right now. Like a certain friend that doesn't want to talk to you and feels like you owe them right now. And you keep coming to me with advice, right? Like, I'm listening to you, and there's two ways I could go about this. I could just let you figure it out for yourself, or I could like...
I did figure it out for myself.
Right, but I've also been chiming in with little bits of information.
Well, because I'm just sharing you the drama.
Totes. But I'm saying it'd be the equivalent of if you brought me that story and I listened, and then I asked back to you and I said, so it sounds like your friend doesn't want to talk to you because she thinks that you owe her money. Is that what you're talking about? And then you go, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you keep saying that thing. And then as soon as you finish, I say, so it sounds like, and I basically say the same fucking thing over and over again. So it sounds like your friend that thinks you owe her money is still looking for that money. And then you just keep going. And it's like dumb as shit because you're asking the same fucking shit over and over again until the person's basically tired of hearing you say, so it sounds like what
her boyfriend got a DUI. Like,
I know, but her boyfriend's dumb. And by the way, me and Dani both have DUIs, so it's not like I'm fucking excluding myself from the dumb train. I'm just saying I too have been dumb in my 20s.
I've had a DUI. I've had two. Like,
yo, actually, without saying names, I'm gonna give him a little bit of G status, and I'm gonna say this: like, he gets a fucking F rating for like adulting that night, but he gets a total G rating for G'd out status because this motherfucking small, skinny little motherfucker was drunk at the beginning of the night when I saw him. So I can only imagine how faded he is by the time he decides to fucking climb into behind the wheel of his car and pull up hot on a red curb in front of the shitty kitty, aka the
fucking
Wildcat in downtown Santa Barbara, where the cops already were on the sidewalk at the time with their cruiser cars on the fucking curb. He pulls up right next to them with his window down, yelling for his girl. Faded AF. I mean, he looked drunk when I saw him 4 hours earlier. So I'm just saying, like, a cop could see through that shit. And they were like, what did they probably just were like, sir, could you step on the pavement for us?
DUIs are not
So
funny,
then Dani's
right?
hella leaving, laughing her ass off at the guy that's like in the backseat of the cruiser car until he looks up and she recognizes him as
I didn't even realize it was him. I was like literally talking shit. I'm yelling and I'm like, blah, 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 loser. And then I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah. And why he gets final G status? Because it's Halloween in freaking Santa Barbara where every single cop is going to be on duty. On duty. Duh. Dude, you want to fucking find yourself a DUI? That is exactly how to do it.
Dude, I've made my mistakes and I've paid my debt to society and I've learned how to like, and just very recently learned how to manage my alcohol and.
Yeah.
But.
Our demons are being managed through tattooing and having you fine folks listen to us talk once a week. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I don't even care, but I do.
Take me,
did it. Anyway.
You guys, I think I want to start doing a thing where I sing one song to you. Probably not this.
I feel like I'd rather listen to your accents.
Make them feel heard. Hey, by the way, it's all aspirational, guys. Being better is aspirational in nature. Remember, kids, if you can't.
I wish you guys could be here to see this. I don't know.
Nixon boy.
I wish you and Bindi could do that next to each other.
Who?
You and Bindi.
I can do a Bindi too. It's just like that's Bindi yawning.
It's like more from the stomach.
That's Bindi.
I feel like it's deeper than that.
Oh my God. I'm not going to do it the third time. I'll get fucking minus subscribers. Hey, by the way, subscribe to us. Now that we have a handle on YouTube, it's easy to find us. We're at Rare Girl. That's spelled RARE. GRRRL. Girl. Because Rare Girl produces this podcast, so you can find our podcast on Rare Girl's channel on YouTube.
Tight.
And you can follow us directly on Instagram at spectrum.pod. Dani also has an Instagram, and so does Breezy. Just fucking whatever. Everything links. Figure it out. I don't know.
I haven't got my period yet.
Ooh, I'm gonna adopt a Mexican Russian baby.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I haven't got my period yet, and
I already had mine all the way.
I almost cried at Build-A-Bear because
Oh
my brain was not ready for.
Have you ever had a pregnancy scare at any point in your life? This is a good topic. Women can get men, even when they're on birth control, women can get pregnant some of the time. Dani's not on birth control, so Dani could definitely probably get pregnant.
He hasn't cream pied me or anything, but like.
I do have a question though. Have you ever had a pregnancy scare at any point in your life?
No.
So you've never had to have a thought of an abortion or an abortion. That's good.
I mean, I've thought like, just throw me down the stairs, like.
Yeah, I know. I get you. It's like
just
stick a slippery elm branch up my cooter.
If I disappear and fucking.
That's the thing. Like, I have witch friends that know how to take care of that shit. You know what I mean?
All I'm saying is like
I'm howling full
I have
moon
never had a
nights.
pregnancy scare, and I just don't think.
It's the Gemini power of the mind, dude. That or we're just not
I
fertile.
know I want all these things because I finally met somebody where I'm like,
we might not be
where in the
fertile.
past where I thought I wanted to have like the baby and the marriage and the house and the fence and, you know, the dogs and
You just described my life. It's
yeah,
fine.
no,
That's sort of true.
and I do. I still want those things, but I am so just wrapped up in Alex's world that I'll only want that.
Well, you are
Like,
still
I know
in
a baby
your
would
20s, and your
a baby would
boyfriend
take that-
is only
Take that from me. Like,
like 22.
I would have to focus on a baby, and I can't focus on him. Like, a baby is definitely gonna be a symbol of our love, and I absolutely get that. And I think he'd be a great father.
Yeah, I think it's really
He's
admirable.
gonna be such a good daddy.
It's very admirable to me that you have a goal in mind around this, and that's to me especially admirable because I know that you have got a completely different start to your life with your family and your parents. And so I respect that that's something that you care and think about because you hope for a different relationship than your parents had and for a different relationship I would imagine with your kids.
Yeah. I want my kids
Totally.
to see me in love and see mom and dad, and just like nothing can separate them.
Yeah, and not feel like
You know?
we just beholden to each other because we got knocked
Just
up on
talking
our
about
first night
him
fucking.
makes my vagina quiver, and that's why I'm like, I feel everything, I smell everything.
You're Twitter pated, dude.
I'm just like, I could pee right now because I'm so excited. This is my second beer though. No, about him, I really hope I'm not pregnant. So I'm literally waiting. I've eaten so many chocolate mushrooms.
Wait, when she says that, she doesn't mean mushroom chocolate. She means chocorooms from like Costco, which is like
No, from Beijing.
little Japanese treat. It's not from Beijing. Oh, what was it? You made fun of me. Chinese and Japanese are not the same, Brie. Oh no, it was the Koreans and the fucking Japanese, because J-pop and K-pop, whatever, bro.
Anyway, I have a box of tampons waiting for me.
I did just buy some. If you need some, if you spring a leak, let me know. I got you.
Hoping to spring that leak very soon. I don't like spicy food, but lately I have been like red flakes on everything. I put sriracha on my egg sandwich today. I don't even like sriracha.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm influencing you.
I'm about to burst into tears. Like, I haven't got my period.
I have,
but I'm not that far off. This might be like, maybe I have had a pregnancy scare within these last, relationship.
Okay,
but I always get it.
Let me stop you.
Every time I'm like, oh my God.
I can literally solve everything for you right now. I have like 300 fucking pregnancy tests like in my drawer in my bathroom.
You're lying.
No, I'm not, dude, because Amazon sells like a fat pack and like we're always trying to get
Even
pregnant,
if I've had beer, do you think should we take it?
If your pee is super diluted, sometimes it doesn't.
Let's pause right now and go pee on a pregnancy
Yeah, all right, we're going to pause.
Okay. We're back from taking a pregnancy piss test. I'm about to smoke and drink right now. So
I can't wait to know if I'm going to be a mom. Hand me that joint. No. It has to be 3 minutes. Give it one more minute.
Cool.
Does Dani go to the store to A, buy tampons, or B, buy a car seat? No,
prenatals? Oh, no! No, it's not. It's fine.
You know, it's actually fucking insane.
Let's bet money on this right now.
As a person who's been pregnant and watched my body change and then had that baby and watched my body change back, it is unfucking believable to me that some people literally get pregnant, literally somehow Jedi mind trick themselves into thinking they're not fucking pregnant for like 9 months of bodily changes.
Ew.
Including which at some point the baby starts moving, motherfuckers. Like you feel it. Like, but although the first time I felt the baby move, I was like, am I having an involuntary like stomach twitch? No, I thought I had like, you know when your eye twitches and you can't help it?
Yeah.
Yo, dude, I thought I had that in like my abdomen. I was like,
I feel like that's me when I'm hungry.
I was like, my abs are just like twitching. Like I can't understand. And then I was like, oh no, wait, that must be the baby moving. So wait,
are we hungry?
There are people who go through 9 months of pregnancy and these fucking bodily changes and the baby moving and the whole fucking 9 yards and somehow show up to the hospital thinking they're dying only to find out they're having a baby. One of these people happens to be friends with my friend Karen Rubing in Sweden. And she was like, no, like a good friend of hers had this happen to her. And she was like, it's crazy. Like she somehow convinced herself that she was just like had some illness for like months and like that she was gaining weight rapidly because of this illness and stuff. Shows up to the hospital. They run. She's like, I'm dying. My stomach feels like it's just fucking exploding. I'm dying. And they like, they examine her and they're like, oh yes, miss. Well, you're pregnant and you're going to have a baby. She's like, so then I guess this chick calls her sister, right? She's in Stockholm. She calls her sister and she's like, oh yeah, could you just show up to the hospital and do you mind picking up a car seat on the way? Because I'm having a baby. And her sister's like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
Yeah, so this happened to one of my friend's friends, and I was like, because I was telling her about some other crazy thing where like this happened to a 13-year-old girl that when my sister worked at a hospital in fucking the East Bay. This happened to a 13-year-old girl, had a baby in the fucking bathroom at their hospital because she and her mom didn't know she was pregnant, and then that's like a case of incest. Like shit gets weird from there because
I think that's something different.
No, bitch was 13 and someone slept with her and she didn't fucking know it,
no
dude.
one slept with her. Someone took advantage of her.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But like, so I told the story of that.
This got dark.
Of that fucked up shit, and then my friend's like, dude, it happens though.
Dude, just stop rambling. Am I pregnant or not?
Oh yeah. So on that note.
Oh my God. I'm not pregnant.
Nope. Bitch, buy some tampons.
Okay.
But Dani,
on that note, I'm gonna say bye.
Next time, just show up to the hospital and have the baby.
Peace, bitches.
Oh God, I'll leave you with that one. Surprise pregnancy. Surprise, bitch.
Oh my God.
This has been Breezy.
And this has been Dani.
Did we conclude anything? Do you guys feel like you learned anything? Get at us.
I'd appreciate it if you did, because I feel like I'm just...
Anyways,
I don't care. I'm not pregnant, so I'm going to finish this beer.
wait. Oh, I have one note to end on because it's relevant to being pregnant or not.
Oh, yeah?
Along with my family dick problem, I have a name for myself and how I was conceived. I am the diaphragm-free sex surprise.
That sounds like a one-night stand.
Well, they were together, but my mom literally used to use a diaphragm.
I think all it takes is a pump.
Do you know what a diaphragm is? I mean, like, I don't even know if you can get these anymore. Does anyone out there... All right, for all of you who are like, what the fuck is a diaphragm? She said it like 4 times. Dude, think about like how a condom goes on to like a male's penis. Now reverse the Now reverse that condom, make it bigger, and imagine it going into the woman instead, like a fucking dam.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like you basically dam yourself
Your
up.
mom used women condoms?
I think that I'm
For
wrong.
vagina?
I think that maybe
And
the
you
way a
still got
diaphragm
pregnant
is
with you?
supposed to use, I think the diaphragm's just supposed to be like, it blocks the semen from getting up to where it's supposed to get to impregnate you. So maybe it's not like a full she condom that goes into you. Maybe it's just more like a diva cup.
Gross.
But that goes the opposite direction because it doesn't need to catch from above. It needs to catch from below.
I think I want our hoodies to say roaches never die.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, no, my mom and dad fully like planned my sister out. And then I was like, my mom used to be like, oh, you were just unplanned, honey. And I was like, Mom, that's like a nice way of saying that I was a mistake.
To be here.
Yeah, that I was a mistake. And she's like, no, I just forgot to wear my diaphragm. What the fuck? What?
Ew.
That's why I'm the diaphragm-free sex
I
surprise.
forgot to wear my diaphragm.
Well,
Not sexy.
I mean, I guess she was a good like wife.
Diaphragm?
She like let her man just ride bare, baby. That's like,
That's not bare if you have a fucking diva cup in your vagina.
I'm guessing that it'd be deep enough that your cock's probably not touching it. Well, regardless, they didn't have sex with it the night I was conceived, so
Like that hurt.
I don't know.
I think that's my biggest fantasy right now.
Diaphragm-free sex surprise?
No, just a good cream pie.
Dude, the other night though, not the cream pie. I was just thinking like sometimes when you really push, like, yeah, that's fun. Anyway, that's what I'll leave you with.
I'm leaving on a good cream pie. Bye.